Hey guys, what's up? It's Cooper Brothers in Arms. Today we're going to be showing you the difference between a $400 carry gun and a $200 carry gun. These are both 380 ACPs. This is a Glock 42 and this is a Taurus TCP. And the reason I chose these two guns is because they're both chambered in 380. And I don't really like 380 as a carry round, but I figured it would make me impartial to which one I liked better after I shoot them both. Because I'm not judging them off the rounds, I'm judging them off the way that they both perform. Now, this isn't really a video to see or to tell you which one to buy. It's just kind of a comparison of what you're going to get for a $400 package and a $200 package, which, you know, it could be substantial. It could be one or two things. You know, maybe this is enough gun for you and maybe you want to buy a $400 Glock 42 when you're done watching this. And really, it's personal preference. That's what I say during every video. It's personal preference, and we're going to go through the guns and show you them and see how they stack up against each other. So the first gun we're going to look at is the Glock 42. I'm a big fan of Glock. I think there's a reason that they're synonymous with being one of the most reliable, dependable weapons out there. I think it's a lot to do with the fact that they make great guns. They use quality parts. There's a reason that you're paying the $200 extra for this gun. It's a very simple system that they've got here. There's no external safeties or anything like that. I've talked about that in a previous video. The only safety the Glock has is this trigger safety here, which seems to work. You know, it's I've never had a misfire with a Glock or an AD, and you know, I've put some guns through some torture tests before, and Glocks have never let me down. Like I said, this is a 380 auto. It has a 6+1 capacity, which you know, is perfectly fine for someone who's carrying a pocket gun. I'm not a big fan of the 380, like I said before, but this isn't about the 380. This is about the gun itself, how it operates compared to other ones. It's very simple takedown on these Glocks. You gotta pull the trigger, and then it slides forward by engaging these two disassembly tabs, and then you have access to your recoil spring, your barrel, easy cleaning. And that's a big thing when it comes to Glocks, is they're just so simple. You know, that's point and shoot. They have decent sights on them. They're fairly accurate. We'll show that later. And you know, I like them. I think they're great guns. So let's go down to the range here and we'll do a little bit of shooting and see how it stacks up. All right, guys. So the Glock 42, like I said, is a 380 auto, and is, by my standards, really a pocket gun, which is really all you need for self-defense. If you see right here, we're at about 7 yards, which most shootings are going to happen 7 to 10 feet, you know. And a lot of the shooting that I do out here, I like to push it out to 15 yards just because usually I'm testing the round's capabilities to see if I do have to take that shot from a little longer distance, if I'm able to with that round or that gun that I'm shooting. But since this is, you know, a self-defense carry gun comparison, we're going to do it like we're close. So this is, like I said, about 7 yards. I'm going to try to put them all center mass and see how well I'm grouping with this 380. All right, guys, so like I said, we're only shooting from about 7 yards, but this is a pretty good grouping for just a pocket gun, basically. This is definitely what we want to see when looking at a self-defense gun, something that you're able to put multiple rounds in around the same spot. I'm not right on the bullseye here, but I'm pretty close, and that grouping is, you know, these bullets are right up on top of each other. There's a big hole there now from where you know, I was shooting. So that's really what we want to see. I can't really say much about how good it performed. It speaks for itself. Glock makes a great gun. It's accurate, and I don't know if you guys could see it, but that muzzle flip was basically non-existent, and which is a big deal because when you got big hands like mine, and sometimes it's hard to get that gun in your hand and control it properly. But I didn't have a problem with this gun. So we're gonna do another test to see how it stacks up with the we're gonna go to the clay pigeons, and I hope you guys noticed that from the last video we've done a little bit of upgrading to the clay pigeon board, so hopefully those clay pigeons don't fall until I shoot them. But same drill that we do a lot. We're just gonna move from target to target and see how quick we can do it. And we got 12 rounds here, so I've only carried 6 in the mag. I don't have an extra mag. 12 clay pigeons is what I meant to say. And I've only got 6 rounds in my mag, so we're only going to shoot half of them, and then we'll shoot the other half with the other 380. So guys, I know I said that you know, the 380s are very concealable because they're basically pocket guns, but I do mean that they are pocket guns. I mean, I can fit this thing in my back pocket, no problem. Or if I'm carrying a hoodie, you know, I know some guys that like to carry it right in their jacket pockets. I actually have a holster that is meant to clip onto the inside of a pocket. I'm just not using it right now. So yeah, these are very concealable guns. And if that's what you're looking for, like I said in earlier videos, I like to carry my gun right here so I can go up to a little bit bigger gun. But some guys, you know, they don't like carrying here, they don't like carrying small in the back. So a pocket gun is perfect for them because they can put it in anything that they wear. So, you know, like I always say, it's personal preference, but, you know, this is definitely a very concealable option for someone who's looking for that. So we're gonna move into the clay pigeon test and see how it operates. All right, so that is 6 shots, 6 hits, and I hope that those of you that have watched our previous videos will appreciate the fact that only the ones that I shot fell. We were having some technical difficulties in previous videos, but looks like we fixed it, and it performed great. You know, I have no problem getting onto that site and just moving from target to target. I like this gun a lot. If it was, you know, they make a Glock 43, which is a 9mm, and I might get one just to carry in different scenarios where maybe I can't carry an appendix carry. Let's see about that though. I don't know if my significant other slash producer slash camerawoman will allow that to be in the budget, but maybe I can sweet talk her. All right guys, this next gun is, like I said, the Taurus TCP. It's also a 380, also a 6+1 capacity. It is a $200 gun compared to the Glock's $400. And it is a very plain and very simple gun. You know, Glocks kind of pride themselves on being a minimalist gun with no frame or slide safety, just the trigger safety, just like I said before, keep it simple, stupid. But this gun is very minimal. There's hardly any sights on this thing whatsoever. There's you know, some sights. There's a little ramp there and, you know, a little bump there. So you've got sights, but they're not big. And there's no safety on here whatsoever. Just you know, trigger discipline, making sure you keep your finger off there at all times, unless you're ready to shoot, because this thing, now the one thing that's saving you, let's make sure we don't have a round in here. The one thing that's saving you is this trigger pull is a lot. So it'd be hard to get something in there to actually push that trigger back. But, you know, as long as you've got a good holster that covers that trigger and you have that good trigger discipline, you know, that might not worry you. But I like to have, you know, at least a trigger safety on a gun, but, you know, different strokes for different folks. So let's go shoot it and see how it stacks up against the Glock 42. All right guys, same drill that we always do. I got the scoring target up here. Just gonna try to get it as close to the center as possible, and really we're looking at grouping, see where this thing groups at. I've shot this gun before. It's not too hard to control, but it definitely doesn't have that grip that the Glock has. The Glock, I've almost actually got 3 fingers on it. You know, this one, my pinky is not even close, and this finger is, you know, halfway on. So it's a little harder to control, but like I said, I've shot it before, so I've kind of got it down to where I can put rounds where I need them to, and we're gonna see how it stacks up. You ready?
Yep.
We've had a malfunction. The last time I shot this gun, you know, on camera, I had a malfunction with it too, and you know, I guess that's just kind of what you get when you buy a $200 gun, you know. And it's not like I don't keep this thing clean. I clean all my guns around the same time. If I'm cleaning one, usually I'll end up bringing the other ones out and at least giving them a quick once over. So you know, this gun just doesn't, it's not as reliable as the Glock for sure. I'm not afraid to say that. You know, the first video I said, you know, I don't blame the gun, I blame the ammo, because, you know, 380s don't have a lot of power to push that slide back, maybe just a tight spring. But now that this happened twice, you know, I wouldn't personally trust this gun as my concealed carry gun. But, you know, like I said, it's not really up to me to tell you what to do. It's you know, all about personal preference. If that doesn't bother you, you know, go ahead then. Let's come up here and take a look at the target. Definitely not as tight as grouping. You're still hitting pretty center mass, but you know, not as tight as we have with the Glock. That trigger pull and that reset really kind of knocks you out of the balance there. It's, you know, obviously shootable. It's, you know, you're not gonna be flying 3 feet one way, 3 feet the other. But that, along with the you know, muzzle flip and just how hard it is to get that thing to fit right in your hand, you know, it's just not as accurate, and it's just plain and simple. But you know, you're still hitting center mass. You still got some good grouping there for you know, what you got. But you know, the Glock outperformed here, so that's pretty cut and dry. And that is malfunction number 3. Yeah, definitely not impressed with this gun at all. But yeah, see, that's not even feeding now. Yeah, I missed that one. And that one. All right, guys, so you know, that's the 3rd time that it's done a failure to feed on me, and I'm just not impressed with this gun whatsoever. And I'm not trying to, I want to make it very clear, I'm not trying to bash Taurus in any way. I own 2 Tauruses right now. I've owned others in the past. I've shot the Taurus Spectrum, which basically replaced the TCP, and I have never had any trouble with that. It seems to be a fine gun, but this gun in particular, the Taurus TCP, just not impressed at all. It is, you know, I don't trust it. I don't think it's a very good gun. And you know, that's about as far as I'm going to go with it. I don't want to make anybody have hurt feelings or anything like that. It's just, I'm not impressed. So let's go back to the table and talk a little bit more about them before we wrap this video up. All right, guys, so that basically wraps up our video. I'm just going to talk about a few things. You know, the Glock, I'm always impressed with Glocks. They always perform. They're, you know, for out of the box accuracy and out of the box reliability, I think Glock is still the #1 top contender, you know, especially for as many calibers as they sell. And, you know, they all look like this. There's a lot of companies out there that they come out with a design one year and then next year they've got a new and improved design. But Glocks have always been Glocks, okay? You can't mistake them. And I like that about them. They found a design that works and they've stuck with it. You know, and again, I'm not a fan of the 380 auto, but after shooting this thing, I wouldn't be concerned if I was carrying this around. I'd still probably want a 9mm, but I would feel pretty comfortable carrying a Glock 42 around just because of how it performed today. All right, so let's face downrange here, and I'll show you guys this trigger pull here. You know, I don't have a trigger pull gauge, but right here you can see that's a nice clean break and a nice clean reset, and you know, nice audible click on both sides. And that's, you know, that's great for out of the box, you know, $400 gun. This isn't a competition gun by any means, but you know, just a good gun. I'm impressed. I like it a lot. And let's take a look at the Taurus TCP. And you know, I'm not going to say too much about it. I've already ragged on it enough while I was down at the range. I'm just going to go over the facts, which it is a $200 gun, give or take, and 6+1 capacity. It doesn't have any safeties on it whatsoever. It is, you know, what you get. I'm not impressed with it. And just to compare the trigger pulls between the Glock and this Taurus here, That is a very long drag, and brake. And your reset is, you know, not too bad. It's right there, but it doesn't even sound healthy. It's, I'm not a fan at all. And, you know, I don't know how much my word means to people, but, you know, if you're looking for my opinion, I would at least spend the $200 on something else, just not the Taurus TCP. But anyway, folks, that's what we got today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I don't own you, you're your own person, but we thank you for your support, and have a great day.